Pole fishing and match fishing go hand in hand, and that's what I'm going to do in this edition of Carp Crew. You see, I've entered a match and I'm going to use this pole to try and win it. I don't want to come second. The problem is, of course, I've not fished a match for 15 years, and I'm going to be against guys who fish matches every week. I think I need some help. I need to polish up my pole fishing skills. And who better to get one-to-one tuition from than Bob Nudd? Bob's the greatest match angler Britain's ever produced. He's won the individual World Championship 4 times and is a 7-time member of the World Championship winning England team. Bob's white cap has become a trademark of match fishing excellence. He's worked hard to fine-tune pole methods and baits that put him one step ahead of the rest. Hopefully, he'll teach me a trick or two and show me how to fish the pole in preparation for the match I've entered into.
Hi, Bob.
Hello, Kevin.
Now, a lot of people think that these waters are real pushovers, don't they? It's not the case, really, is it?
No, I mean, it's a commercial fishery that it is overstocked. You know, there's more fish per acre than there should be. There's artificially stocked, so that the fish are always hungry. But, of course, they're a bit streetwise.
So it's all about getting better baits and better presentations.
It is, and also feeding, because that's the most important part of fishing.
Show us your rig and explain how it is you're actually going to attack the water today.
Yeah, you can see that the fish have come up in the water. At this time of day, the oxygen levels are much better higher up, so they come up. Naturally, they want to be up in the water.
OK.
No plumbing up, just set the float to about 2 foot deep.
Yep.
I've got a fairly small hook on it, so it's a 20, size 20. I've got 0.16mm line direct all the way through.
That's £6, yeah.
So I get a good bait presentation. There, midway, I've got a little block of 6 number 10 shots. That just lets a bait drop exactly from the top to the bottom.
OK.
And then the float, if you have a look at the float, it's a really small float, very short in length, 0.17 of a gram. And then about probably 2 foot of line just over up to the elastic.
So you can flick the float and the rig beyond the pole.
Sometimes the fish see the pole. You know, when you've got sunlight like this.
The shadow of the pole.
They see the pole and they steer off it. And if you flick just past it, you can get loads of bites. If you come under your pole, you can't. So we'll chat about that when we start catching fish.
Have you got a rig for me to try as well?
I definitely have, and I don't want any excuses from you. It's exactly the same as mine, and I've set it to the right depth. As in all sorts of fishing, feeding's most important, but with up in the water, when you're fishing up in the water, you've got to keep that feed going in constantly.
Right.
If you don't, the fish won't keep up there. You know, they'll take what bait goes in, so you need all the time to be feeding.
What is it about the constant feeding pattern and regime, do you think, that gets the fish coming?
Well, they're competing for bait. You're not putting too much in, so you get them competing.
And what are you firing out there? What sort of size of bait are they?
They're just probably about 3 mil, those.
And they're pellets, so they rattle the surface quite a lot, don't they?
They make a noise, get the fish competing. And can you see how I'm holding this pole? Look, I'm trapping the butt section of the pole between my right arm and the leg, and it leaves both hands free. So I can pick up a few pellets with my left hand, put them in the pouch. The important thing is everything is done in reverse.
Yep.
You hold the pouch still and you push the actual...
The frame away from you.
Yeah, and you just push it forward.
OK.
And the result is the same. And can you see how they're all landing perfectly around the float?
Absolutely.
And it's easy. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's easy. And this pole is 13 metres and it's quite heavy and it's windy. But remember, in some matches, we're fishing this for 5 hours and feeding all the time. We're not lying back in the bivvy with our feet stretched out.
Sounds a bit like hard work to me, this.
This is real graft.
Right, well, I've had my lesson. I've been told I've got to go graft, so I better go graft, I suppose.
The humble potato. This is my secret bait for today. Secret hook bait, that is. It's unusual, but it's a tough bait, and I can make it look like a pellet, so the fish don't know they're whizzing around grabbing hold of anything. So I make it look like a pellet, and I do this by slicing the potato and then punch it with it's about a 6 mil punch. And then just punch through. You'll see you'll get several small pellets. Once you've punched these, just mix the pellets into this lovely concoction, and you need to soak them overnight. with some gravy granules and some coffee granules, just a mixture of the two, just to create a colour, and some that I did last night, if you look. Can you see how we've got this dark brown to simulate a normal fish meal pellet? And don't worry about the smell, it's the colour that we're after. Here's our special bait for today.
Is this the secret weapon, is it, Bob?
Well, almost.
So these are raw potatoes doused in coffee, are they?
Yeah.
How am I going to hook this?
Just hook it through the top end, through the flat end, and pull it out. You've only got a small hook on there, and just sort of half bury it. Now they can't see it. Perfect presentation. Looks like a little pellet, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Marvellous.
And it will catch fish.
Well, it sounds absolutely crazy to me that we're going to catch fish on coffee-flavoured raw spuds. My dad would be proud of me. He was a green grocer, you know, so he'd be proud of his son catching fish on spuds. So I really do wait to see whether this works, but let's give it a go. I'm sure you know best.
As long as you make sure you just keep feeding, get the fish here. Do you want me to feed
Go
for
on,
you?
mate, you better do that.
I'll feed. Go on, and use the rest of your pole. You've got half of it behind you still.
I know, well, it'll probably tip me into the lake. So basically, I get it up into that position.
Yeah. And wherever you... Oh, look at those. I can see the fish bubbling, and then just...
grief.
Every now and again, lift your pole and then just drop it. Especially if you've just fed, you can lift it and drop that.
OK.
So it's dropping through the water.
Right, so you're getting that movement in the bait, making it look like one of those freebies that's just landed.
You've got to try and get the fish on the drop. But it's all about, as we said earlier, just feeding all the time, little and often.
Now, I noticed there's lots and lots of bubbles coming up in the swim. Now, there's a carp angler, there's a specimen carp angler. Oh,
straight on, what did I tell you?
Good grief.
That's potato for you. How long did that take?
Hey, it's magic, this spud stuff. Good grief, this is a right creature.
Now, the secret is now you've got to feed
While you
got the fish on.
I've got a creature
I'll
on
do
it.
it for you. You've got me feeding for you. But that was great, wasn't it? As quick as that on potato.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Of course, how much does potato cost? And you can catch like this anywhere.
Right.
Because it's a tough thing, the fish can't knock it off the hook. You can see that first bite you got whack, you were straight into it, weren't you?
Absolutely.
And a match angler always worries about his next fish, not that one you've got on. He's always worried about the next fish he's going to hook. That's why you keep feeding. But you get it out of your peg as quick as you can.
Right.
So whiz it round as fast as you can and get it either to the right or to the left.
Just to clear the area and stop it spooking the other fish.
You don't want it running through your peg out there, do you? Now, that fish has got some tension on your pole, so it's hard to unship, so you've got to try and release a little bit of that pressure, that's it, to get the pole parallel, because you're pushing the joint round. Then you'll find it'll unship. Can you see your pole's bent a bit?
Yeah.
I can tell you don't use a pole that much. But that weren't bad, was it? How many seconds did that take to get a fish?
Not long at all. Right, now I've got this on, let's have a go while I've got it in close.
You can try and feed, yeah. And now there's hardly any anglers do that. Hardly any anglers do that.
I think I'm feeding more around my feet than I am in the water, but, yeah.
Feeding, I think, is the most important part of angling.
But this is just constant feeding, isn't it? It's not sitting back and putting a boatload in all at once, is it? It's that drip, drip.
Just give it a bit of stick now, just when he comes round.
Oh, you chased him then.
I did, but that is a terrific... Look at the size of that fish.
Crikey, he's going to be out in a second. Let's have a look at him.
That is a terrific
Well, I tell you what, that is...
And where is it hooked? Perfectly. And it takes them getting out as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a barbless hook as well. Just buried in there. Oh, look at this for a kipper.
I'm going to hold the net under it.
Oh, yes, look at that, folks. Look at that, folks. What a fish. On a piece of spud, raw potato soaked in coffee and gravy granules. If you'd have asked me, would that catch fish, I'd have said never in a month of Sundays, but there's the proof. That's probably, what, £8, something like that?
Lovely fish.
Let's have another one.
With my personal Bob Nudd coaching session coming to an end, we've both got stuck into some brilliant carp action on the pole. I'm now quite confident that I'll be able to hold my own in the match I've entered into in a couple of weeks' time with the St Andrews Fishing Club. But to help me along, Bob had a little surprise.
I've got a little present for you.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that. Bob's spud. Oh, hello.
Well, it's Bernie's, really.
And he signed it too.
You'll be able to catch fish now, won't you?
Bob Nudd. Signed on Bob Spud.
It's over 15 years since I last fished a match like this, and I'm going to join the ranks of St Andrews Fishing Club for the day to see if my Bob Nudd pole session can help me compete against these regular match anglers. How you doing, chaps? My name's Kev Green. I'm here to be beaten by you today. So,
You brought no whips with me.
Before the match gets going, let's have a chat with Barford owner and match organiser Sarah Thompson, just to confirm that I'm definitely going to get a stuffing.
I think you might get hammered, Kev. No
Thanks for
worries.
that message of support. So what's the tactics then? Am I going to maybe catch a fish?
Well, draw well, hopefully.
Hopefully,
half
yeah.
of it's in the draw,
Yeah.
I think. And today I think you try you up in the water with spud, feeding pellet.
So the potato trick might work, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. And short line with paste.
So 2 lines of attack.
Yeah, we'll keep it simple.
What are my chances?
50-50.
You sound convinced.
I'm hopeful.
I'm going to get battered, aren't I?
Quite possibly.
She's got faith, this girl, just not in me. Now then, Alec, rumour has it that you've got a little bit of a secret weapon in your kit.
I've got one little bait which I'm going to try.
Are you going to tell me about it? No?
No.
You'd have to kill me. And do you think I've got a chance?
As much as I have,
And have you got much of a chance?
as much as you have. And that's it.
Pat, you're a man of many words.
Oh, yeah, so they tell me.
Now then, Alan, word on the grapevine is you're the man to beat.
Hopefully.
You seem confident.
I am.
And how are you going to attack it today? Got any secrets?
Paste on the bottom,
Yeah?
7-8 metres,
And what about your feeding?
6mm pellet,
Is that the key, is it?
hopefully.
Right.
I'd like to think so.
Now, how much are you going to beat me by? Easily?
Yeah, I guess so. Hope so.
I was looking for a bit of encouragement there. You went like, well, you might have a chance.
You might do. You get a good draw.
Well, it's the draw coming up, the random allocation of pegs. He said I need a good draw. Let's hope I get one.
19? Yeah. Confident? I'm happy with that, yeah. I'm happy with that.
Where's that, Alex? The other side.
I got mine. 26.
Right, here it is, Sarah. The moment of truth.
Pick a lucky one.
Come on, then. Come on.
Peter? 16. Who left, Mike?
Number 9.
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
Yeah.
She says I'll be all right. Come on. This is the pack horse bit to my swim. I'm hearing on the grapevine I've got a bad draw. Right, I've got half an hour to get my gear set up. Time is of the essence. With only 30 minutes before kick-off, this is the time to sort out all your tackle, rig up your poles, and get organised. By positioning everything to hand, match anglers can fish quickly and efficiently and not waste any time during the contest. Match rules ban pre-baiting before the start whistle, but plumbing the depth of the swims is allowed. I'm going to fish potato in 2 foot of water in front of me, and as a backup, paste on the bottom to the right of my swim. This is the crucial bit. I'm just plumbing the depth on my paste line where I'm going to fish that. Just lowering the float in. Boom. Dead depth. Perfect. This is just marking the depth on the pole so that if my float moves or I get snapped off, go straight back to that mark and get the depth of the swim and be straight back in the water again. That's it. We're off. This is a 5-hour match and I doubt I'll fish on the bottom for at least 2 hours or so. But now is the time to feed my standby swim and get the fish feeding and confident. The next job is to get a hook in the water though, as the minutes are already ticking by and several of the other anglers, well, they've already got fish on. There we go, that's my starting offering. Piece of coffee soaked spud again. Let's see if it works. I'm actually feeding these little 4mm pellets. And you can see as they hit the water, they make like a little faint rattling sound. Fish here are used to eating these and they come to that sound. But if you use a pellet or a soft pellet on the hook, they're little fish that are also attacking my bait all the time. The spud, it stays nailed to the hook. Whoa! That might just be the first one of the day. Bob, you were spot on, mate. Sit and wait for the carp to take the bait properly. Wait for the pole to slam into the water. And I'm letting that one have a plod around. Now, this was the golden rule, Bob said. When you hook one, keep the bait going in. The problem is,
I end up with more on the floor than I do in the lake. And what I'm noticing is that I'm getting lots of carp coming into my swim, but they're not hanging around. They're sort of on the move, quite skittish. So I'm just increasing the feed rate a little bit, just to see if I can hold them. That's a chunk. Here we go, let's have a look at the first fish of the day. There he is. Probably 4, 5 pounds maybe. But anyway, I'd love to stop and talk. I've got to get my bait back in the water again. Time's money, you know. I've got a match to win. Well, we're 1 hour into the match, and the biggest thing I'm starting to realise is there is a lot of pressure in match angling. In fact, come to think of it, that's probably why I gave it up 15 years ago. Time passes so quickly, and when you look around, everyone else is busy catching fish and doing things. Meanwhile, you're sat there looking at your float, getting no bites. I've only got 1 carp in the net so far, and to cap it all, I then lose 2 fish in a row. Disaster. Meanwhile, everyone else is still catching. I need some help.
Hello, mate.
No.
Aren't you meant to get him in the net?
Yes. I thought that one was mine, I have to say. What should I do, you reckon?
I don't know. Your fish are there. They're up in the water. You're on quite a deep rig, though. So I'd... Oh, he's in. Well, I was going to say maybe go a bit shallower, but if you're getting a fish...
I'm probably not catching fast enough, though, am I?
No, you probably could catch a little bit faster.
So you think it's time to change rigs and come really shallow?
Yeah, I think. About 2, 3 foot. And
She's being diplomatic here, folks. She's not saying I'm being a complete clampit, just a bit of a muppet.
Oh, keep net, nightmare. Ooh, staging, nightmare.
Ooh, just nightmare all round.
That's it, keep pulling them out. Come on, next one. Quick, quick. Keep losing them like this. We've got to catch a few more now, haven't we? We're averaging one in the net to every 3 fish, so...
Doing well, Anna.
You'll do all right. Come on.
Do you know, I didn't think I'd actually really get into the competitive side of this. But it's killing me. I'm watching these guys catching fish and I'm like, come on, I need one. When you lose one, it's like the worst thing in the world. I tell you, I'm watching this clock and I want to get going. I need to catch some more. That one will do. Could be wrong, but this one, whoa, feels a bit of a beastie. Oh, he's a big fish. This is the frustrating bit. You want to get the fish in, but you don't want to lose it. Get in. Did as I was told,
Well
Sarah.
done. Come on, Kev. In the net.
That's got to be 6 or 7 pounds. A fantastic common carp. Gotcha.
I've heard a whisper that he's on a good peg, but he's only caught 2 fish so far, which means he's not doing very well. I'd have thought he'd have been shown us the way. Perhaps he'll come better once he's got used to the water.
Let's put it this way, he's doing as well as I am, and but I don't usually come anywhere in these competitions.
I'm already learning just how costly those lost fish could be. Yeah, I've got a couple in the net, but I've lost some big fish. That's lots of weight, and that could cost me. Well, I've got 90 minutes left. It's gone a little quiet up in the water, so I'm going to change tactic, switch to pace time. I've been putting bait in the near margin, and now I think it's the time to try it. It's been nice and quiet for several hours, and with the weather changing, it's just beginning to rain now. I've left that area quiet for quite a long time now with quite a bed of bait, and usually if you leave it quiet, the fish will gradually eke in there. Well, there we go. There's an instant response to changing to the pace rig. Maybe I should have changed to pace earlier. Maybe I've made a schoolboy error there in plugging away with the spud for too long. If I can get his head up. Got him. Oh, pace bit of all right, isn't it? Come on, let's get this one in the net and get him in again. Oh, yes. What a chunk. Well, This match ain't gonna stop just for a bit of rain. I'm gonna keep going. God. Carp, I hope you know what you're putting me through. As it happens, the rain did us all a favour and the fish really came on the feed. Before I knew it, I had 10 carp in the net. Suddenly, from being a bottom ranker, it looks as if I might be in with a chance. Oh, look at that. Oh, that'll do. You're in the bag, son. Oh, that's the biggest one I've had of the day. Well, there's literally seconds to go by my watch, and I've had a fish. Just suck up the pace bait again. Now, I've got 15 minutes after the end of the match to get this fish in. For those that haven't got one on, when the all-out comes, then that is it. Ah, what a beauty for the last one of the day. What a great day. Well, this is the start of the grand weighing in. We're going to go all the way around the lake, weighing everyone in, and then we'll see where I've finished. Probably quite a way down, I think. All the carp are just going in the big weigh bag, which is then going to go onto this contraption. Big tripod, so we get a nice, accurate weigh on. 39.8. So, Alec, how much did Brian get?
£66.8.
So that's the first weigh in, 66.5 pounds.
Yeah.
I reckon he might have beat me, but who knows?
Come on then, Mr. Green, let's see what you got. Hey, look at this.
First weigh, fingernail stuff.
16.12.
That's a great start. In they go. The tension mounts.
43.4.
43.4.
Well done.
So that's a grand total of £60. Well, there's 3 weighed in so far, and £60 is third. Yes, I'm last at the moment. It could get better. In fact, I didn't do too badly at all. Out of 14 anglers and a winning weight of £168 and 11 ounces, I finished a respectable 7th with £60 exactly. So there you go. I haven't disgraced myself much. I've got to say, these guys from the St Andrews Fishing Club have been fantastic. And Sarah, you were superb. You coached me along and you managed to get me some fish. Thank you.
No worries. Well,
I've really enjoyed this match fishing light. It's soaking wet through. I'm absolutely drenched, but I'll do it again.